Are you surprised at how much progress has been made so quickly, at least getting to this summit? And how hopeful are you going forward? I mean, is this gold or is this fool's gold?
Oh, I think it could be either, and I think we've got to understand it could be either, and we've got to be prepared for either. Sticking close to our allies, South Korea and Japan, is absolutely essential. Also, I would say our colleagues from China and Russia have to play a role. So this is going to be a multilateral effort. It's got to be. It's going to take time. You don't just get rid of nuclear weapons and nuclear materials by picking them up on an airplane and dumping them in the ocean. It takes a lot of care to handle them safely, to make sure they don't get in the wrong hands. And particularly as we go through this, we've got to make darn sure there's not any export of nuclear material that could be used by a terrorist group that does not have a return address and cannot be deterred. So all of those are factors, but we at least are talking in a very serious way, and I think that's a big plus.
Well, Senator, what I find interesting is the different ways the U.S. appears to be going about North Korea and Iran, for example. I feel like it's the carrot now with North Korea and the stick to Iran. Do you get a sense of how serious and strict the U.S. will be in enforcing the sanctions that are being re-upped?
Well, it's hard to tell. If you're talking about Iran now, then I'm not encouraged on that front. I think that we have inadvertently and unintentionally thrown a boomerang at the Iranians, and it's coming back to haunt us, because the nuclear agreement with Iran was designed for one purpose, that is to stop their nuclear weapons program. It has done that. It has not stopped their missile development. It was not intended to. It has not stopped their bad behavior. It was not designed for that, and we could have never put together a coalition to squeeze the Iranians economically had we had those goals. So right now, I'm afraid we are basically taking our eye off, we being the group of countries that put this together with Iran, and it was not a U.S. bilateral agreement with Iran, it was multilateral, and we have seemed to have forgotten that. And right now we're going to be focusing more on economic disputes with our allies about secondary sanctions than we are on stopping the other behavior of Iran that is so dangerous to the region and to the world. So I am concerned that we're heading in the wrong direction. I hope we can pull it back together. It's going to take a lot of dialogue with our European allies and our other allies who helped negotiate the deal, including Russia and including China.